Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Trail Talk. I'm really glad you could join us today. Seems like we've had a lot of interviews, like every Trail Talk this month so far has been an interview, and I like that. I think that's fun. I don't have to learn a lesson to teach anybody, so I just get to chat with folks. And today we are talking with Alan and Stephanie Gates. I'm very excited to have them here. Some of you may recognize them. Their faces are not strange faces here in Duncan. You guys are recognizable for sure. And they're going to be talking to us about Von Hawks Rising. If that's familiar to you, then listen up and hear some of the things that's going on with them. But if that name is unfamiliar, just sit tight because we're going to get to the whole story. But first of all, tell me about yourself. So did you guys grow up here or in Duncan or in the area? Okay.
We moved here when I was 5 years old. My dad moved here to work for Halliburton, who's an electrical engineer. And as a child growing up in Duncan, I thought, I'm never going to live here.
Right.
I'm going to move out of this town. Well, I did for college and eventually found my way back. It's a great place for family.
Right.
So I can say I've lived here most of my life.
Right. Did the college thing and that.
Yes.
Okay.
Sort of the same story in and out of Duncan my whole life, but went to a lot of different communities growing up and different schools, and decided to go to college locally and stay here because I had so many friends and family, and I like the Duncan community and love it here. And so when after you get your degree and decide what you want to do is for your profession, raising kids and being a part of a community that you feel comfortable and a part of is part of the decision-making process. And so, I was, there was no question in my mind that I was going to be in Duncan and stay here. So, we've basically my whole life, I wasn't born here. My actually grandparents lived in Snyder and had a headstone company.
Wow.
And lived over there for a little bit growing up, and then spent some time in Davis, but spent a lot of my elementary, middle school years at Comanche.
Okay.
And so just been around Stevens County, I guess you could say, once I got into elementary, and then
Right.
my entire adult life and career has been around
So
here.
did you guys know each other? Like before college or no?
We met later.
You met after,
Yes.
and so Duncan is a place where you can meet someone and get married and everything. I'm sending that message to my single children
Yes.
who moved away. Just kidding, guys, but I'm not kidding, but I kind of am kidding. But anyway, take it as you want to. I mean, a lot of people do move back home, and a lot of people say, I'm not ever coming back. So, that's what, if Alan's name or face is familiar, he was on Trail Talk a few weeks back with Chris Steele and Chris Rao, talking about the
Heart and Soul.
Heart and Soul, Community Heart and Soul
Yes.
program they're kicking up. Their Leadership Duncan class is going to bring that to fruition. So we're pretty excited anticipating that. But if Alan's familiar, that might be another place. So you guys are both of you part of Von Hawks Rising? Are both of you in the band?
I am not in the band.
Okay, she's not.
I cannot.
She's not in the band.
And I
Okay.
cannot play an instrument.
Okay.
So one of the things that a lot of people have a misconception about is that Von Hawks Rising is a band.
Okay.
That is all that it is. It's
Well,
much
that it's-
more.
Right.
Because the band is our fundraising mechanism,
Uh-huh.
our main fundraising mechanism, but this is truly a nonprofit organization.
Right.
And
Right.
the mission is driven and the money is raised from the band that we formed. And so our love for music kind of paired into our love for giving back and being a part. And this kind of just came together.
And so tell us how that happened, because we were kind of talking right before we went live. because the band is the fundraising mechanism, the band was kind of the catalyst, right?
That's right.
For everything else. So tell us how that kind of started.
So, one of my really good friends, David Woods, police officer here in town, approached me one day. He wanted to start a band, and at first I thought he was crazy because we're all, busy family occupations. It was in the
Not
middle-
like 20-something guys just hanging around the
Hey,
garage, right?
that's right.
Playing
we were- like we had no time really.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just, but it was in the middle of COVID, and I think he just wanted to get together, to have something to do, to hang out and have some camaraderie and kind of relieve some of the stress and pressures of that. And, so because he's my friend, I couldn't turn him down. I tried at first, but
Right.
then I couldn't. Said, hey, if this is what you want to do, I'll be a part of it.
Yeah.
And so, he reached out to, Jason Hawkins, and Jason was part of the band originally too. And then, we had a bass player join us from Marlowe, Donnie Berry, and we were searching for a lead guitar player. The more we started getting together, we realized that we actually had something and wanted to keep it going, and more people wanted to be a part of it. So,
Okay, so I've never really had a chance to ask anyone who was like part of a band. You kind of had something going. Were you guys just all kind of, everybody just had the same likes as far as music goes, and you could just sit down and start playing together and it just kind of all fit? You know what I'm saying? Is
Yeah.
that kind of how a band comes
Um,
together? I've always wondered about this.
well, you have to have something, especially when you put yourself in a genre like rock and roll.
Right.
Rock and roll cover band is what we are.
Yes.
And so you have to find people that love and want to play and have that skill set to
Mhm.
play rock and roll in the type of songs you want to play. But really, the guys that were together on this were more at the same place in life. We all loved music, but hadn't done it, full time or truly given time to that
Mhm.
craft in a long time. I played at church, and I go to Impact 580. And I play in the worship band there, so I get to play a lot, but not this type of playing. It's different. You're serving in a church. It's a different type of music. And
Right.
so this was more of
Yeah, typically not rock and roll cover songs at church.
we actually do covers. Our church,
Change
we
the
do.
words or.
as people come in, we'll
Oh,
do a
okay.
secular song.
Yeah.
We just want people to feel comfortable and
Sure.
kind of
Yeah.
let their hair down. It's more of a casual environment where people can belong, and it's great. But
So what is your instrument?
I play drums.
Drums,
I'm a drummer
okay.
in the band,
Okay.
and I play drums at the church as well.
Okay.
And so, the guys that got together kind of had the common interest, kind of laid things aside for a while to focus on family and career,
Mhm.
and wanted to get back into it. And when we did, in the middle of COVID, you think about all the hurting people and what can we do with this? And out of that kind of birthed this mission that if we were going to sacrifice our times from our family and our jobs and other things we had going, we wanted to make sure that it was on purpose.
Mhm.
And so that mission was kind of birthed out of that.
Right. I love that so much. I mean, to me, this is an used word, but it seems like it was organic. It seemed like you guys are like-minded, and not just as far as your musical taste or skills or whatever, but you have this desire to serve. And so it's just natural that it just happened like that. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's so awesome.
It's actually incredible that many people would have a common interest like that and driven by a common goal.
Mhm.
I mean, we're all strong in our faith, and we're Christians, and we believe God had a play in how this all got put together.
Right.
And it's not coincidence. And if
Mhm.
you've ever been to one of our shows, I think we all take it seriously. And in my opinion, the quality of what we're doing is it's rare to find a group of people this close that live this close that can do music at this level we're just having a blast doing it, and we're humbled, to be able
Right.
to do it as well.
Right, I was able to, I was at the Duncan Chamber banquet when you
Yes.
guys played.
We were a little worried about that one. but
Listen,
it turned out great.
Yeah, it turned out great. I don't know if they maybe purposely set some people of certain ages closer
Yeah.
and others farther away because it was loud. It was super loud. It was so great. The Pat Benatar songs
Yes.
were amazing. I
Yes.
thought, am I the only one who wants to get up and dance?
There were
Because
people
I mean,
in the back doing it.
oh, I wish I had been
Yes.
in the back because I was like, oh, I want to dance so bad. It was so much fun.
That's the thing about this group is all of them are so talented and have played music for a very long time.
Uh-huh.
And some of the people in the band have played together in other bands in years past. So there's connections between them here and there and obviously in the community too, but they are all so talented that when they come together and they all work so hard,
Mhm.
they're amazing.
Mhm. So do you have, I think you said Jason Hawkins
Mhm.
was originally, is he no longer
No.
part of, okay,
Yeah, or Dave, neither one of them
Okay.
were part of the.
the
band.
current group?
I mean, it's, as time goes by and the more things start taking on a role of itself, this thing kind of took wings and took off. And you really have to be willing and able to give the time and effort. And,
Mhm.
we're all real sensitive for that family comes first. You have priorities. Never want to make this, it would kind of be counterproductive if we were trying to do this, but yet sacrificing,
Exactly.
and
Right.
so we kind of got to be real sensitive to that with everyone and check in and make sure everybody's doing okay.
So you went from playing together and you got this idea, we're gonna have a purpose for our playing. And so you formed a 501c3. So, do you have I'm a part of a group that we started from scratch to form this 501c3,
Yes.
and there's a lot.
Yes,
There's a lot to it.
yes.
And so do you have like a board and bylaws and the whole thing?
Yes, and that's what so one of the things that I talked about early on, it was forming this 501c3 if we were going to start giving back. I thought it was important for two reasons. One is it gives you more credibility in the community, and
Right.
two is it allows other people to donate and get a
Mhm.
deduction for what they're doing.
Yeah.
So when I brought that idea up to the band, of course, it's a big commitment. And so, yes, I had some contacts because I had a business background, banker by trade.
Mhm.
And so I kind of knew a little bit about how to form it and had some contacts and a lot of friends that pitched in and helped to get this organization started.
Right.
We do have a board, and they're all local.
Mhm.
And it's basically ran just like any other nonprofit that is directed and led by the board.
Mhm.
And all the decisions are made, all the money, everything has to be, approved and ran through that process. And so we have bylaws that were adopted.
Mhm.
We have monthly meetings, and so it's very active. And currently, we have a total, I was counting it today, almost 40 volunteers that are helping in this organization right now.
Wow, that's great.
And our board is very supportive, and they love the idea of what we're doing. And at the core of what we're doing, we haven't even gotten to what our mission statement is yet.
Right, yeah.
It kind of drives everybody every time we meet, and everything that we do is really driven by that mission.
Mhm.
And that's what I think everyone's just mostly attracted to. The music's fun, the concerts are fun.
Mhm.
We have a blast doing what we're doing,
Mhm.
but that's really not at the core of what we're trying to accomplish, and it keeps driving everyone.
Right. So I mean, I love it that you took all of those steps because that makes what you're doing that you're serious about this.
Yes,
We're serious about this and we are going to do this according to we're gonna follow the laws of the land. We are going to get this, incorporation, and we're going to be, a 501c3 recognized by the US government, the whole thing. And, so that means your money, you're responsible with how you, collect the money and what you do with the money after you have it. I mean, I love all that. I feel like that gives it a level of seriousness that people can really respect.
Well, and yeah, also transparency.
Absolutely.
I think it's important to be transparent, and we're a public entity. So anyone who wanted to see our financials, who's on our board, how we operate internally, what we do with the money, it's all open
Mhm.
to anyone that wants that information. Just to reach out and contact us, and we'll talk about anything that we do. And I think that transparency gives people a lot of comfort and confidence
Mhm.
in our organization when they make donations, to really feel like what they're giving is going to good seed,
Mhm.
good ground.
Mhm.
And one of our board members, Carl Buckholz, he's an attorney. I think a lot of people know him around here.
Mhm.
A big comment he makes all the time is, when you donate your money to other organizations, maybe larger, you don't know how much of that money is really going to impact the bottom line of the mission.
Mhm.
How much is being taken by administrative burden and salaries,
Right.
overhead, and basically we have no overhead. What we spend is, paying minimal to our band members,
Mhm.
and we don't have an office, we don't have rent, we don't have anybody on staff.
Yeah.
So everything that comes in is going to provide for this mission.
Mhm. And so tell us, what is your mission statement?
You want to do this one?
You've been talking a lot.
Yeah, go ahead, Stephanie.
I need water.
Oh, okay. Alan's on break now.
Well, the main mission is to help families of children that have been impacted by severe illness or trauma. So we have an entire committee of people that we have an application process.
Okay.
So we open up our application process a few times a year for about a month at a time. You can find our application on our website and download it and fill it out and turn it in. And we have an acts committee that reviews all those applications that come in during that time.
Mhm.
And then they select our next family that we help. And it's an extensive application. We went through several drafts of it. I, at one time, was on the committee and have now stepped off because I'm doing other things, helping with events and organizing that side of it. But we have a great group of people working on that. Some of them have medical background. Some of them have other nonprofit organizational backgrounds. So we have a great group of people looking at those applications and selecting those families. And once a family is chosen, then we fundraise all year long.
Right.
But once a family is chosen, then that's the family that we will be presenting money to next.
Mhm.
And we will be
And do you always present at an event?
not always.
Because at the chamber event, you made 2 presentations, and so I was curious. about
We
that.
did. And that the chamber event's a little bit unique.
Okay.
We decided to do that. The timing is kind of a decision made internally, when and how we do it.
Mhm.
But we all got together and decided, this is a chance for us to really show the community what we do.
Mhm. Wow.
So we felt like it was important to not only say we're a rock and roll band, cover band, but we also give money to help families with kids that are impacted by illness and trauma. And so we were just elected prior to that in March by student council and for Halo funds.
Right.
And we were one of the recipients of that. And, we put on a concert, help raise money and
Mhm.
raise awareness. And part of the money that we gave back that day came from Halo. So it was kind of neat, because it was really the community that was coming together.
Mhm.
And that's really what this is about too. We couldn't do what we're doing without the support of the community and businesses that support us, and people that are faithfully giving and supporting us.
Mhm.
But it just kind of brought it all full circle for us. And hopefully that message was put out there too, that chamber event, because, we couldn't have done it without Halo, and we were able to help 3 families
Right,
right there at the same spot. And
yeah,
and if you'll remember, Adelina Pisano was singing with us that day.
Yes.
She was in student council and part of
she was the
Halo.
Pat Benatar voice,
Yes.
man.
We loved having her. We missed her.
That's a lot of fun.
That was, yeah, boy, she could sing it like, man, it was so good, so good. So, I can't remember where everyone was from, but I do remember one of the, girls that received, a check that night. It's like, you know, the
The
big
big check.
cool checks, you know, was from Chickasha.
Uh,
So, do you have any restrictions
So we,
on where the applications?
we're an
are?
Oklahoma nonprofit.
Oklahoma, okay.
So
very good.
anywhere throughout the state of Oklahoma, we can receive applications and give money. That doesn't mean we can't expand that territory, but that's how we defined it. So we're an Oklahoma nonprofit organization.
Mhm.
So our applications actually come, we've had, and we, you know, part of this ACTS team that she's talking about, and that's ACTS,
Okay,
not AXE.
right. Actually, the application, didn't even think about.
You know, part of what they do is reach out to other organizations and network to get applications of families that are in need, and, you know, it's coming from places all over Oklahoma. So this particular one was from Chickasha. Our very first candidate and sponsor, it was Eli Strutton. His family was from Chickasha. Of course, they have Duncan ties.
Right,
And funny story is Billy Strutton, Eli's grandmother, is on our board now.
oh,
So out of that came, you know,
support from Billy,
yes.
yeah.
which she's been incredible, and she's,
She was on Trail Talk
yes,
back a few months ago, whenever she was first, well, it was first part of the summer, when she first became the Main Street Duncan,
yeah.
you
So
know.
we're lucky to have her on our board,
Yeah.
and she does a lot for us. But Eli their family was from Chickasha as well.
Mhm.
So we had those 2 families from Chickasha. We had 3 from Duncan, and the new one is from Fletcher.
Oh,
The one
okay.
we're raising money for right now.
Okay, awesome. So, how long have you been raising money and, sponsoring people? How long, like,
So our very first check we gave was August 27th last year.
okay, so just
And we
over. a
started
year.
May.
First.
First concert was at Fuquay. It's called Rock and Rides last year at Fuquay Park. And that was our very first concert. We've been raising money since May of last year.
Awesome. So, your performances are strictly fundraising? Is that,
That's right.
Is that
I mean,
correct?
When someone reaches out, a private show, public event, and they contact us, and when they hire us as a band to come play for them, that money is used to provide for this mission.
okay. So like your performance at the, chamber
Yes,
event, all of the
That's right.
proceeds that you received, the money,
yes,
went right into your account to be given out.
yes. Now, of course, we have expenses. I mean, we got equipment that we have to maintain.
Right. Yeah,
We've had some very generous donors to help us, and, you know, we're not at the level yet where we want to be. Of course, if it was up to me, we'd have the traveling show and, you know,
Right.
wrapped
yeah,
semi truck pulling up on a stage trailer. And putting on
Exactly.
a show. But-
Yeah.
And maybe that's someday out there, God only knows, but
Mhm.
we have to work within what we have and do the best we can with what we have. And so we've put what we can together, and, so it costs money to maintain that and, you know, keep equipment going as much as we use it. I mean, we're loading and unloading equipment
right.
every show, and it's not, if you've been one of our shows, you can tell there's a lot of equipment to put up, and there's a lot
Yes.
of labor that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize
Mhm.
when they show up. And we have people that show up and help, that just want to be a part of doing that.
Yeah, some roadies, right?
I wish we had more.
It's about 2 to 3 hours to set up.
To set up.
Just to set up. And
Wow.
that's it. And they practice every week. The band gets together and practices every week.
Mm,
So when they put on an event, when they go to a show, it's an all day.
Yeah.
They're donating their entire day
mhm,
to the event.
mhm.
Because then they play the show and then there's stare down.
Yeah,
So it's a significant amount of time.
It's
These-
sacrifice,
it is.
and again, the reason that we're still going, the reason that we have so much momentum and we're all so excited about what we're doing
mhm.
is because we believe in what we're about.
So do you, like, I think I saw on your website, you're not taking applications right now.
You know.
Okay, so, is that because you have like a certain amount of money that you want to be able to give someone? There's like a minimum amount
Mhm.
that you have set?
So the ACTS team that Stephanie mentioned earlier, part of their role, and they're independent of the board and that they work and function on their own. There's 5 different functions within this organization that feed up to the board. Part of their role is to make recommendations to the board about how we give the money benevolently, what we do with our money.
Mhm.
And currently, the model is to open an application process up for 30 days. I can't, it's unbelievable, the people that we have helping in that area and their skill set and their talents and their gifts. I don't even know how you would be able to take one application and say there were more need or fit our role
Right,
better, because they're
right.
all, you want to help them all.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it really starts, you know, getting at your emotions, and you really want to do everything you can to help every one of them.
Yes,
But we know we can't.
right.
And so because of that, they have to choose and make a recommendation up to the board about which applications they recommend us.
Mhm.
And then once a year, we'll reach back out to them and make sure that the way we're giving the money in the process is what we want to continue doing.
Mhm.
So right now, it's, we have a certain limit that we want to give that basically provides for any out-of-pocket medical expenses.
Mhm.
Now, some people don't think about it, but that's not just doctor visits and prescriptions. I mean, a lot of things that healthcare and Sooner Care and other things won't provide for is kind of where we fit in.
Right.
You know, tires on your car.
A lot of the families have to travel sometimes every day
Mhm.
out
Yeah.
of town, hour and a half
Mhm.
or more one way.
Mhm.
And then, you know, you're not able to clean your house, you're not able to mow your yard, you're not able to
Mhm.
maintain, you know, you have to take off work a lot.
Mhm.
And so there's a lot of needs there that aren't being met by
Mhm.
insurance
Mhm.
and so, or Sooner Care. And so we just said, we want to provide for that niche there,
Mhm.
the out-of-pocket medical. And then we know there are times when, you know, Christmas, birthdays, that kind of thing rolls around. There's a certain portion of it that just, because we know the needs are there,
Mhm.
that we just give for that.
Mhm.
And so when we hit our target, the dollar amount that we set,
Mhm.
then we'll say our campaign for that particular family and child is done.
Mhm.
And then this is kind of pairing into another layer. Then we reach out to our, what we call amplified sponsors.
Uh-huh.
And those amplified sponsors partner with us. So only on the medical side do they match 10% of what we raise.
Oh, wow. That's great.
And then once we hit our target, they kick in their amplified sponsorship and then we present our check.
Wow, that's awesome. And so have you found yourself a little overwhelmed with applications?
You know, believe it or not, and I want you to talk about our amplified sponsors too. That was a
Okay.
good
Yeah.
segue.
It was,
Yeah, it was. Okay, let's
Uh,
do that, and then we can
okay.
talk about the.
Yes.
We currently have 4 amplified sponsors that, like you said, partner with us every time we reach our goal, when they kick in. It's Shavers Development, Bearded Man Jerky, Heartland Energy, and Hillary Communication. We just got them as an amplified sponsor. So we want to recognize them because they truly are a partner with us in helping us raise money for these families. They believe in our mission and are excited about what we're doing.
Mhm.
And, you know, by doing that, it amplifies what we're able to give to the
Right.
family.
Right.
And you know, these businesses aren't just from Duncan. They're Hillary Communications is all over Oklahoma,
Mhm.
Texas and Iowa.
Mhm.
And they do broadband and internet service in rural areas and growing need. Obviously,
Right,
it's a big
right.
topic right now. They saw a benefit of what we were doing and wanted to be a part of it. They're our newest Amplify sponsor. This will be their first time with us, so we're excited to get that.
Right.
And then Harlan Energy Solutions is out of Oklahoma City and El Reno area, their oil field service.
Mhm.
And then Shavers Developments in Oklahoma City, but has ties back here. And ironically, one of their family members is struggling with the same thing our current family is,
Wow.
which kind of hit their heartstrings.
Exactly.
And so, and then Beer Demand Beef Jerky it's a local company, and Chris Rowell and a few other partners are part of that, and of course, he's a friend of mine too, and he loves what we're doing and wants to be a part of it.
Right.
So it's not just, there's people all over who see what we're doing and want to be a part of it. That's exciting.
It's very exciting. I just love it when someone, you know, someone notices a need. You know, you don't always see that someone notices something. You know, you see something that someone else has overlooked.
Yeah.
Or maybe you see it and it's not overwhelming to you. It's been oh, we can't take that on, it's too much, but it's not overwhelming to you.
Right.
You see a way to make
Yeah.
it happen.
That's just my nature.
Yeah,
When I see obstacles, I see opportunities.
exactly. And I
We just
love
keep rising
that.
above those obstacles and just keep doing it. And it's because we believe in what we're doing. And the
Right.
first time you're ever a part of giving the money back and you see the impact it makes, you're hooked. And that's why all these people that are working with us, they either experienced it or seen it, and it just changes your life. And it gives you a lot of sense of pride and joy and drive to keep pushing past that. So, you know, again, since it was birthed out of, you know, the middle of COVID, we wanted to actually reach out and help people with money to help offset these needs, but there's a lot more that goes into it. These families, when we give it to them, we're bringing hope,
Mhm.
and we're bringing that a community got behind what we're doing, and we see you and we care, and we just want to help relieve your burden some.
Mhm.
We would love to put a zero behind every check, you know, but
And I'll
We're doing
tell
what we
you,
can.
it's incredible, all the stories behind the scenes, how the different people that have come and applied and were chosen by the ACTS team. There is I wouldn't call it a coincidence, but there's a unique and crazy story behind every single one of them that will make you go, yes,
connect.
Mhm.
yes,
Mhm.
this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
Right, right. So, back to the, application, you know, do you receive a lot of applications? You know?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that back. Thanks. Cindy.
Yes.
At first, it was the opposite. Because we were new, trying to get our name out there and to try to raise awareness for what we were doing, we were having a tough time finding applicants. And that's why we reached out to people that we did to help on that ACTS team to get applications, to get, you know, raise awareness that there is help, and we're wanting to do this, and it just takes time, you know, and we've only been at this a little over a year now, and
Right,
we're still
Yeah, I
trying
mean,
to get
I
our
think
name.
it's impressive, the number of people you've been able to help in just 1 year.
Yeah.
Let's spend over $30,000 with
Wow.
5 families.
Wow, I mean, I find that to just be amazing, you know, like you say, it seems like things are really rolling along well.
Yeah.
And once the word got out, because, I mean, coming out of COVID, I feel like there were some, shysters out there who were pretending to be a 501c3 or someone who was trying to raise money to help someone. You know, there's always someone out there who's just not a nice person, you
Yeah.
know, dang it. And so for you guys to give people the hope that there are
Yeah.
organizations who are serious about it. And you really mean what you say, and you're gonna do what you're promising you're gonna do. I mean, that has to be part of why things are rolling like they are.
Yeah, and I believe that because it's a healthy organization inside out.
Mhm.
It's built the right way. We got the right people involved in it. And I believe we're in the right community to support this.
Mhm.
People in Duncan and the surrounding communities see the need for this, and it's birthed out of us rising above our situation to help other people. And
Right,
so I think that's kind of pairs into the name as well, you know. And
yeah,
the Hawk part of it was about the Hawk, this came up with David Woods and Jason, they came up with the name. Of course, Hawkins had the last name,
okay, I wondered when you
Hawk,
said
but
Hawkins.
the Hawk is actually representative of nobility. So it's a noble cause that's rising up out of our community.
Mhm.
And so they played with that around and threw these names together and came up with Von Hawks Rising.
Mhm.
It just stuck, and we've been a part of it. And yeah, the name is a little funny when you first see it, hear it,
Yeah.
and but it makes sense when you see how it all came together and what we're doing.
Mhm. Well, I mean, I think it's a name that people will recognize.
It's catchy.
It is.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
not the same typical one-liner name you hear. Yes.
Mhm. And it's not like associated with what you're doing,
Right.
it's not,
Yeah.
kind of, that would be a little corny to
Right.
me,
I mean,
It's just like,
we're still a little edgy because we're a rock and roll band and we got that artistic side of us. And, I wear a suit by day because it's my profession, but when I'm there, I've got,
hair.
yeah, I got the hair crazy and flipping my hat around backwards or whatever. I mean, because it's part of what we do is our
Right.
expression.
Right.
And, but anyway, I also wanted to say and pair in, because I know we're probably getting close to running out,
Oh,
taking up
fine.
all your time.
No.
I mean, it's been humbling and we are so appreciative of everyone who has reached out and asked us to come play for them.
Mhm.
We've had so much support locally. Chamber has been a great supporter of ours, and the country club, Main Street Duncan. I mean,
So is your calendar kind of full? Like, do you
We-
limit how many
we do
gigs
because,
you do a month?
okay.
Yeah, I want to say that I think it's great that you are working with this organization because it makes it kind of a family thing. And plus what you guys are modeling for your, do you have your kids? Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Actually helped many,
Yeah.
many times with
Yeah.
events.
I-
Caden will help with the sound. Sydney has helped work. When we've done events in the past, we've had inflatables, she'll help work a station there. And so they've all contributed in one way or another.
I mean, I think that, so you're at a different point in your life, than a lot of people who are performing together today. But look at what
Yeah.
your example you're setting, for the kids.
Yeah, and we try to
And-
teach our kids to give back.
Right.
Not just to consume, not just be a consumer in life, but to be a contributor, and God will bless you because of that. And I feel like he has us, and he's blessed our lives, and he keeps blessing this organization
Yeah.
because we're
And
giving.
we do have to limit, and we've had a lot of people reach out, but because, these guys do all work. They have a
Exactly.
full-time job.
Yeah,
This is certainly not a hobby because it's much more than that. But we do have to limit, because I could exhaust them. We could book every weekend if we wanted to. I can brag because I'm not in the band.
Right.
I can say they're
amazing. They're so good. I can book them every weekend.
I really
I bet you
did, and I
did that.
love it. But yeah, we do have to scale it back because they just physically would not be able to do that. It's so much work.
Well,
each
and there's that fine line where your mission stays that and doesn't become a burden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it becomes the burden, then everything's out of proportion then. So,
So true.
yeah.
Yes, we do around 12 shows a year. Last year we had, in November, we had 3 weekends in a row with shows and they were about to kill me. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But we just had the opportunity, we had the opportunity to go to Norman and play up there. We've played, up there a few times. And so,
Well, and that
especially
early
last
you
year.
hated to say
Yes,
no.
exactly. That's exactly true.
Yeah.
Well, we were even doing shows for free at first. just to
Mhm.
Get our name
Yeah,
out there and
yeah.
be a part of it and just paying it forward and planting a seed for what we're trying to
Yes,
accomplish.
That was smart, yeah, that was smart move.
So we've played in Rush Springs, we've played in Duncan several times, obviously, and we played Marlowe. We played for a wedding venue even.
fun.
So near Norman. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've done some different things, some interesting things. But yeah, we do have to limit.
Yeah, so if anybody has a corporate event or
Yes.
Right,
Mhm.
so, is that information on your website about what if someone wanted to hire you guys, what the costs are and everything?
The costs aren't because there's different factors if they have to travel.
Okay,
How
so
long the
that's-
show is, if
Uh-huh.
it's 2 hours, if it's 4 hours. So there's some variables in there that we can't just
Just-
say,
yeah.
here's a blank.
yeah,
Right,
how
like a
much you
menu.
get for
Yeah.
stage lighting.
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
So-
yeah. So
They
We
that's
kind of custom
talk to
fit
you
each one.
and make
Yeah.
those arrangements.
Yeah, we just kind of get a feel for, we tailor it to whatever the event is.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
We
So
go-
because we will put the website and everything in the comments
Okay.
on this post.
Good.
So let's talk about the October
Yes.
Okay.
concert that you guys are doing.
I
I
am
just drink water.
super, you did- I am super excited. It's gonna be on October 22nd. And the guys are playing on the rooftop.
And is this the second year in a row
It
you've
is.
done
Second
this?
one we've done.
Okay.
It is, and I'm so sad because I organized it last year, but last year, it was kind of a very last minute idea. And they picked the weekend, that's another thing, scheduling the
Mhm.
7-member band on a day that every one of them can do. It's a little
Oh,
tricky.
Yes.
Everybody has families.
Right.
So, last year when they did it, I was out of town and missed it. And I heard some amazing things about the show. So I'm super excited myself
Mhm.
just to get to see them play on the rooftop. People
Right.
across town could hear it miles away. So like you said, they're loud. They're
Yes,
very loud.
yes,
So
yes.
it's a rock concert.
It's
Exactly.
a good loud though.
It's a good
It
loud.
is.
But
Yeah.
yes, we're gonna be on the rooftop of Impact 580.
Mhm.
We're gonna have a car show. We're gonna have vendors. We're gonna have inflatables for the kids and food trucks.
Oh, my goodness,
So,
everything.
Everything.
All the stuff,
things.
all the
All the
things,
things.
all the
So, and
things.
we've had some people helping us this year. We have a committee that helps me with the different pieces
Mhm.
of this. We have some guys over the car show that have been amazing this year. One of our board members is helping me with food trucks and vendors, and we have someone else helping with the volunteer section of it, because like you were talking about earlier, we have so many people in the community that come in to volunteer, and they'll show up for this event and they'll help with parking the cars for the car show or manning the bounce houses.
Mhm.
Just cleaning up, setting up, cleaning up. There's
Mhm.
so much that's involved in doing an event. The barricades. that we have to go around the perimeter so that we don't have cars driving through the event.
Right, yeah.
There's just a lot of details and a lot of people that have pitched in, so we're excited for that evening. It'll start, car registration for the car show starts at 5,
Mhm.
and car show itself starts at 6, and the concert will be from 7 to 9.
Wow,
Right
that sounds like such a great evening. And I mean, we've had, we're getting that time of year where the evenings are just right.
Mhm.
It's just right. So is there a contingency plan for weather that's uncooperative?
We've talked about that. That is tricky too, because
Right.
we get into the holiday season and the scheduling.
Mhm.
So we will look for an alternative date. We've tried to find one. We will probably reschedule it if something happens. We're very closely watching the weather.
Right.
Because we
That's
have
always-
that equipment, we can't afford for that equipment to get ruined.
No, yeah.
It's just,
Well, and all the cars.
and
cars.
yeah,
Mhm.
of course, the guys aren't
Sure.
gonna
Right.
come out if it's raining.
Yeah, and bounce houses are no fun if they're wet.
It'll most likely, if it does get rained out, it'll most likely be in spring.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, so we won't absolutely have to do without this concert.
No.
We'll get it one way or another. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody is looking forward to that. We have a friend here, Maria, works here at the Heritage Center, and she just talked about that. She has mentioned it many times over the year, and so, she just said it was fantastic and, has really talked it up. And, so I'm super excited for you guys to get a chance to do
Yeah,
this.
and this one's gonna be even bigger. We have people reaching out already. It's gonna be coming from Ardmore, Lawton. As far as
All
Oklahoma
over the
city,
city.
I mean, this will be a lot bigger event than it was last year.
Will there be ways for people who are there to just donate?
Yes, we, every concert we're at, well, nearly everyone, we didn't set it up at the wedding, but we have a merchandise booth where you can purchase like Fun Lunch Rising t-shirts, and all those proceeds go again back to the organization. But we have a way to donate right there at the merchandise booth. So if someone wants to come in, we had, in fact, the family, we are hoping that we have a representative of the family that we're raising money for to come. And I may.
They will be there.
They will be there. I'm maybe jumping ahead, but our current family is a 4-month-old baby, baby Lincoln Harold. She was born with a heart defect, pulmonary artesia, and large VSD. I'm saying that right. Basically, her heart was inside out and backwards. The major arteries were going the wrong direction.
Right,
So she's already had open heart surgery. She is scheduled for more surgeries in the future. But so she probably won't be able to be there just for health
Right,
concerns.
right,
Being
yeah.
out in the public
Yeah.
and things like that, but we're excited to be raising money for her. We've got lots of sponsors for this event. We're super excited about. We've gotten a lot of community support for this event. And I had a point to where I was going with that when I brought up Lincoln, and I totally lost my train of thought when I started thinking about her sweet little face.
Well, we were talking about ways for people to donate.
Yes, oh, that was, thank you for bringing me back around.
Sure.
At one of the events we played for at the country club, we had someone specifically say they wanted it for Lincoln because they saw her picture and they saw what her particular issue was. So yeah, but in general, people can donate to the organization, and once we reach our goal for Lincoln, then we will present them a check, and then we will open up our application process again. So it's just continual. We do it year round.
And you can,
Just keep
they can
going.
donate online.
Okay.
They can, at every event, at our merch, where we sell our merchandise. Of course, that goes, that helps support and fund this organization too. We have t-shirts, hats, I mean, there's whatever you want back
Bracelets,
there.
koozies.
But-
fun stuff.
Oh,
But
all
you
the
can
good
also
stuff.
make a one-off donation at the merchant table. We'll take your money however you.
Right,
can.
you're not gonna turn it away.
Checks, cash, credit card.
Yeah.
We
You'll
even
take
have a
it.
little tap pay. We got,
Oh,
yeah, Apple Pay, whatever.
awesome.
We'll
Yeah.
take it.
So there's no reason for you to not donate that night. No excuses. Well, I am so excited for this event, and I am so impressed by Bonhawks Rising from everything you guys are doing. I mean, and just the way you're touching lives. I mean, the bottom line, right? You know, the most important thing. And I'm just I can't wait to see, you know, for you guys, how far this goes. What, like, do you have like this big
I
dream?
do. I got it. We have we talk about vision
Uh-huh.
at the board level all the time, and I talk with them monthly, and they, sometimes I think too big and got to get it reined back, and then other
Eric,
times
You gotta have a
I
dream
feel
or
like
something.
stay in your lane, but there's lots of vision. There's a lot of things that can pair off of this, and there's a lot of different avenues and areas that we can expand this. And so, yeah, there's definitely vision out there. I haven't targeted it yet. I have a few ideas in my mind, and I'm thinking maybe next year we may be able to do some expansion. So we'll just see how things go. Right now, I think the important thing is to get our name out there, to not perfect, but do our processes with excellence. to make sure that we have the base and the foundation set right. So that when we do expand, that we can consume that fairly easily. And I don't want to shock the system or
Well, you always
be
want to make
ineffective with what we're doing.
the original thing that you're doing, you always want that to be a part of.
Yeah, and
who
there's
you
so many
guys
needs
are.
out there, you know, we've had ideas of doing this and that and as spin-offs of this. And it's so important, we feel like, to stay focused on what we do, because there's other organizations that do other things. And so we have to try to do our best to stay in our lane. And if there's other needs out there, we can refer them to other
Right.
organizations to help.
Right. So did you guys base this off of like something you've seen that's similar? Is this like modeled after, or is this like it's just your own?
If there
I was
may,
just wondering if
there
there
may
were
be
other
something like this
groups
out
that are
there,
doing
I have no idea what it would be. This was all just a brainstorm of ideas that started, threw them on the wall and saw what stuck and
Right.
made something out of it.
Right.
We did look at, and originally when we were looking at our application process, we did look at other nonprofits that had application processes to try to model ours. Instead of reinventing the wheel, we wanted to
Yes.
use best practices and find what was out there that worked well for others. So we did look at some other nonprofits to try to model ourselves so that we had a model that was already proven.
Yes, yeah, and I that was probably a really, really good idea, especially you're just jumping in there.
Yeah.
With both feet, it's like,
Right.
okay,
It was
we
a
need a
lot.
little something
It was
to
a
hang
lot.
on to here.
And, we know that there are things that we need to improve on, and we know there's things that we could do better. We know that there's areas of weakness, we know, and we recognize that, and it's okay. Because we are gonna continue on anyway and just get better as we go. And it takes more people. We need a lot of support and volunteers. I mean, if anybody is interested in being a part of this, we have a big need for marketing and media and, videos and photography and artwork and
We have so many moments that we just haven't been able to capture, like with our families, and telling our story we know it can be told better than what we're doing right now, because it's amazing.
Right.
But again, it's just manpower and finding the right people to help us get that word out there and do those
Right.
things, because it all takes time.
It does. So listen, viewers, if you or someone has some of those skill sets, get in touch with these guys, because why not use your talents and abilities to promote something as worthwhile as Von Hawks Rising? I just can't think of any reason why you would not want to. For real.
play a tambourine.
Exactly. Y'all, you don't want me up there singing, but I would do something in my wheelhouse. Yeah, that's when you would say, stay in your lane. Yeah, you just get the microphone out of her hand.
The needs are so great internally in this organization to keep it going. There's so many things that we need and so many things that we haven't been able to do and have to keep going. We've just kind of piecemeal because there's so many people. I wish I could just sit here and name off every name of people that are involved in this and
Right.
helping support them, because it's
Right.
important to us. And I know each and every one of them by name
Right.
and what they do. And it's so appreciative. It's humbling to see people in this community get behind what we're doing.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
Sure.
I truly believe we are being God's hands extended. Some people talk about helping others and other people do it. And there's some people that aren't able to do it. So they're helping us to go do it. This is just our time and our season. And so we're being obedient and doing what we need to do.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that the rest of it will come. We just stay
Absolutely.
faithful in what we're doing.
Yeah. And one thing I was thinking about the word season earlier, because I thought this is not the kind of thing that I don't mean this offensively. Everyone's gonna age out probably at some point. I'm sure I'm much older than you guys are, so I've been a little tongue in cheek here, but, why would Von Hawks Rising need to end you know, that's why the mission is so beautiful. It's something that is enduring.
Yes.
There are always going to be people in need, and there are always going to be people who can help those in need.
And it's set up from the inside out
Yeah.
to welcome succession and
Mhm.
to keep this rolling for as long as people want to be a part of it.
But what a wonderful thing to look back on and
Yes.
say, man, that season, that
Yeah.
was a good one,
Yeah.
you know? I mean,
Exactly.
that's, gosh, now I'm getting emotional. But I just.
And you see the kids, you see the faces and the families, and that's what, it's not the concerts, they're fun, and it's not the shows. That's fun too, and it's not the people you meet at the concerts, those are great too. But the things that stick in your mind the most is when you see the families and their struggle and what you are doing to help them.
Yeah, and just the appreciation.
Yeah,
You know,
and you really can't understand what it means to them, you know, how much, until you see that, and then the gravity kind of sets in, and it's all comes full circle.
yeah,
And you're like, hey, we're doing a good thing here.
yeah, for sure. Well, you guys are gonna have to keep us, updated on everything you guys are
Our
doing.
events, I mean, our shows and staff's been doing what she can to keep up
Right.
with the events on our webpage. So, I mean, we put it out there when we have it.
When something new comes along, there's something, you let me know,
Okay.
Stephanie, you guys can come
Yeah.
back on Trail Talk and
Mhm.
tell us about it and keep us updated. And I mean, I hope October 22nd is the most amazing day, and, you know, everybody shows up.
Come out, bring your
To
lawn
support.
chair. and
Rock
maybe-
Yes,
Maybe
yeah.
bring a blanket. I
If
don't
you
know.
got a
That's
car,
right.
bring it out. We're
I
doing
bet
it for
they'll have hot
donation.
cocoa if it's cold.
I mean, we're not charging for the event. You can bring your car and do a donation to put your car in the car show to be a part of it if you
Yeah.
have one. So I mean,
We have a
this
few
is,
spots left for vendors, not many.
Yeah,
this is just
So
the
great.
community coming together to celebrate and rock the roof.
and
right?
rock the roof. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on Trail Talk and sharing all this exciting information.
Thank you.
Absolutely, and I wish you all the success in the world. So, when we, sign off, we always say happy trails together. So
Okay.
you guys ready?
We are.
Okay, we'll see you guys next time.
Happy
Happy trails.